Let's go live, see what happens. All right, everyone, we are back. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. It happens. It's technology. It's how far
Yeah.
we've come. But it's awesome. But so I was going down the list of some of the movies that Arturo was talking about: Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Elf, Christmas Vacation, A Christmas Story, and The Polar Express. Those are some awesome movies. Some of those we will be talking about a little bit later on in the show when we get to our favorites, I'm sure. Brian also says Nightmare Before Christmas, of course, Scrooge, Christmas Vacation, Elf, Harry Potter's. Yeah, Harry Potter's definitely a seasonal favorite around here as well. So there's some great ones. So Christian, let's talk some of your favorite Christmas movies, man. Like what do you like if you had like a top 5, right? Let's just say a top 5. What would you be watching right now?
Nolan brought up one, and I know we've spoken about it before, but the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he mentioned that it was something that his wife introduced to him. Same, it was something that I had not seen
Oh
as a
really?
child,
Okay.
and Dana
Wow.
introduced it. And yes, it is the best rendition of, or the best adaptation, I would say, of A Christmas Carol, easily.
Easily,
Um,
100%.
yeah, it's not only like accurate and like um, it's just fun. It's just like a whole lot of fun. So, I know that was like one of the movies that was like dedicated to Jim Henson as well. Too, I know it was that, and I think Ninja Turtles was also dedicated to
Yeah.
him, which was cool to
Yeah.
see. So, but yeah, I love that one. Home Alone is my always my go to, personally. Probably one of my favorite movies to quote.
Absolutely. It's so
Just,
easy. Like it's got so
yeah,
many good quotes and just the, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal is enough,
yeah,
for
yeah,
quotes. And
exactly.
yeah, like Christmas Muppets Christmas Carol, you hit it right on the head there. Like
Hmm.
I don't really remember when I adopted that movie, but I know I was young and I was a kid.
Hmm.
I think we had the VHS and I still watch it, and it's honestly my all-time favorite Christmas movie. Like I absolutely just love it. I mean, it just hits my sensibilities 100%. Absolutely wonderful movie. But
Yeah.
anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
I would put Nightmare. I actually think of Nightmare more of a Christmas movie than a
Mhm.
Halloween movie. I know it's supposed to be like both or in between, but it's more of a Christmas movie. At least I don't know. In my opinion, it is. Um,
Absolutely.
and it's obviously a fun one. Interesting. Super side note. I just saw this on TikTok yesterday. Somebody and not to like throw shade. I just thought it was like a really
No.
interesting observation. Somebody said that Guillermo del Toro is everything that Tim Burton thinks he is. And I was like, oh, I'm
I
like,
mean,
I like that though. Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, I can't
I
argue.
mean,
I love Tim Burton, and again, not throwing shade at all. I love
yeah.
Tim Burton, but I think you might be right.
I
This person
know.
might be right.
I know. It was a good one. I was like laying in bed. I was like, oh,
That's
cannot
fantastic.
argue that. Cannot argue that. I do love myself some Tim Burton, so don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah. No,
Um,
same.
yeah, and then I think Elf is another big one. If I'm thinking of like more recent movies, if we're thinking super recent, I got out like let's throw it in there. I really really enjoyed James Gunn's Guardians
Oh
Christmas
my god.
special. That was so much fun. That brought a tear to my eye at the end there. So
So good.
yeah, James has a way of just being over the top, inappropriately ridiculous, and then I'll just reel it all back with some really really sweet, heartwarming,
Mhm.
beautiful sentiment. And it was no different than anything else that he's done. Fantastic if you haven't seen it. Plus some really good music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, all of those are fantastic. Like Home Alone is definitely up there. Nightmare Before Christmas is just one of the funnest debates in my household because like we watch it on Halloween and around Christmas time because it does feel like it fills that
Both.
gap in between really well.
Mm-hmm.
Um it's fantastic. Muppets Christmas Carol #1. Krampus has been one that we have recently, not recently, I mean since, it is a newer film, I guess. What was it? 2013, 2014, I want to
Mm-hmm.
say. Just fantastic. Like so much fun. It's great, like holiday horror. Like it's like great gateway horror too. It's not like overtly scary, but it's
Mhm.
scary enough to give you chills, give your kids chills, and I absolutely adore that movie. I think it's great. Adam Scott is fantastic in it. He's amazing. Tony Collette, incredible. Like, I mean, they're both amazing performers anyways, but in that movie they play it so straight and play it so natural. It just feels fantastic. I absolutely love it. And the design of Krampus himself just looks incredible. That's one of our favorites around here as well. Yeah, Home Alone, both Home Alones, to be honest. Both of them we really, really enjoy. I think it's really great, a lot of fun. Um, and what else? You know, you have the ones that people debate, right? You have things like Die Hard and Iron Man 3 and I'm sure there's got to be another one I could throw on that list that I can't. I guess Nightmare would be the other one that people debate heavily about. Um, but I mean, they're Christmas adjacent enough. Gremlins, that's the other one.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Gremlins, yeah,
yeah.
same way. Um, I consider them fun to watch around this time of year. Die Hard is Die Hard. You know, it's going to be a Christmas movie. If you make it a Christmas movie, it's going to be a Christmas
Yeah.
movie. You know, Shazam. Does Shazam take place during Christmas? I don't remember. Yeah, yes,
Oh
it
God,
did.
I've only seen it that once. I haven't.
I
Sure.
guess, yeah, I guess it did. Wow. I didn't even think about that. Shazam's a good one too. Shazam's a great one to watch. I love those movies that aren't necessarily Christmas themed, but they're movies that you can watch with your family and have fun with. I really enjoy watching those kind of movies around this time of year too, right? Like they don't even have to have a Christmas theme per se, but it's a good time, like I said, for families just to gather around and watch movies together, you know. We're not those super strict parents who have like rating things that our kids can't watch stuff, but it is fun to find that stuff like Shazam and stuff like that. Friday After Next. Yes, I am totally with you on that one, as well as I love Bad Santa. The first one is hilarious. I freaking love that movie. There is a more recent, so there are a couple more recent ones that we found. There's one called Anna and the Apocalypse, which I absolutely just love with a passion. It's like Shaun of the Dead meets High School Musical. Like it's just the most insane. Takes place around Christmas time. It's a British film. It's so funny, so good, so much fun. We love that. The soundtrack is amazing. It's just a really, really fun movie to watch this time of year. And more recently, we did watch this movie called Better Watch Out, which was on what streaming service? I think it was on Peacock. Definitely not for the kids. Don't watch it with the kids. It's twisted. It's messed up. It's a really super darkly humorous look, take on the home invasion type thriller. So you guys definitely check it out if you guys want a fun horror movie, but not necessarily one that you can watch with your family. Definitely check it out. Highly recommend that one. That's a good one as well. Christian, are there any like over the past couple of years that you've kind of grasped onto as like
I've kind of brought this up. It's not that, I mean, there's the adjacent ones like you were talking about, and for me, like one of the big ones is Batman Returns,
yes,
the second Tim Burton Batman movie.
yes,
It's kind of that fun Tim Burton snowy aesthetic.
Edward
Of the
Scissorhands,
night,
same
and
thing.
Edward Scissorhands. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love Edward Scissorhands. That
yeah.
was a movie I used to watch on like repeat as a child, like back in the 90s. Still love that movie. Yeah. I think we had this conversation before. Both of those. Tim was doing a lot of that like snowy aesthetic stuff in the 90s. That at least I always associated with Tim Burton stuff back then. So and yeah, there was Nightmare, Batman Returns, Edward. All three of those are kind of fun to watch. As of recently, for like, and this isn't so much movie, but the Office Christmas episodes.
Oh, dude, they're fantastic.
Yeah. Recently, my friend Tiffany, shout out Tiffany if you're listening, posted on Instagram like the chart of like each season's Christmas episode. So if you just
Oh,
wanted to
really?
go through,
Nice.
yeah, which is a lot of fun because those are always great. That
Yeah.
some of them, Michael's a little insufferable, but by the end, it's all wholesome. So,
You know, it's like so The Office is like our winter show, right? And
mhm.
Parks and Rec is like our summer show. So
Oh,
we
that's
watch
great.
Parks and Rec during the summer and we watch The Office again during the winter and fall time. Because it's very cozy, you know, it's got that really kind of comfy, comfortable, like a warm blanket
Hmm.
type thing. Um, yeah, watching it again recently, man, I'm like, if Michael was my boss, sometimes I probably would not be working there anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's still a fun show. Yeah, we've been watching the Christmas episodes and they're all fantastic. So
yeah.
you can't really complain with those. We watch a lot of the Friends Christmas episodes as well.
Hmm.
We are a Friends household, so we do watch those. Um, those are always a lot of fun to watch. So, and also pretty much anything by Shane Black. I brought up Iron Man 3 earlier, but you also got Kiss Kiss Bang
Kiss
Bang,
Kiss
which I thought I
Yes,
love that
yes.
movie.
Hmm.
So good. Robert Downey Jr., Val Kilmer, like just oh,
Oh,
such
Gay Perry,
what's
the
her name?
best.
Michelle, was that wait, who's the girl? What's her name?
Oh
Okay,
God, I gotta
I
look
feel
it
so
up.
bad. She's fantastic in it though. Like she's amazing in everything she's in. I just can't think of her name right now. But I think she's great. Um, let's see if I can find her name real quick. This is great for podcasting. I do apologize. Michelle Monaghan. Michelle
Boom.
Monaghan, yeah, she's fantastic. You know, even the first Lethal Weapon movie, I believe it's the first Lethal Weapon, which was also took place around Christmas time. And I'd really love to talk to Shane Black and ask
Yeah,
him about his Christmas aesthetic because
yeah.
I mean, it's one of those times of year that you can basically base any movie and it makes it that much more colorful and interesting. And maybe that's just it. Maybe he just likes it could be something as simple. He just likes the colors. He just likes the idea of it.
Mm.
So yeah, yeah, those are also really, really good ones too. Um, so Christian, what so we've had this conversation before about something like Die Hard, right? I broke down kind of what kind of makes a Christmas movie for me. What do you consider? Well, what are the so when you're watching a Christmas movie, what do you classify as a Christmas movie? Like, what elements does it have to have to be a Christmas movie?
I feel like more
Monaghan.
than it has to be more than like a snowy aesthetic. It has to be more than just taking place during Christmas time. I
Mhm.
feel like there has to be like a Christmas lesson learned, like the arc of the protagonist needs, like they need to learn like the spirit of Christmas, or like it was all about giving more than receiving, or you know what I mean? Like I think that's
Right.
kind of the big thing, because otherwise that's it literally is just an aesthetic, you know what I mean? Like or like family was always important, like the things that are most important are right in front of your face the whole time, like the classics, right? When we look at like all of the classic um Christmas movies, that's always the case, whether it's like again Home Alone, Miracle on 34th Street, it's always some that, or even like a Christmas Carol, right? So that's how I would kind of categorize something. So because I think that's possible even without the Christmas aesthetic. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you
Right.
could subtract the snowy stuff, but like learning the the spirit of giving, or realizing that, or coming to that. Groundhog Day. Boom! How did I not think
Groundhog,
about
yes.
that?
There you
Jeez
go.
Louise. Groundhog Day is a really good one. I used to love that movie too. God, I used to love that movie.
Groundhog Day is amazing.
But
My
yeah, what
wife,
about you?
yeah. So, just real quick, Cassie, my wife, she
Uh,
commented, "Christmas has to be part of the plot line." I agree 100%.
yeah.
So I'm of two minds. Obviously, everything you said, right? So I like the protagonist has to go through some any movie, right? The protagonist has to go through some change, but at Christmas or holiday movies specifically, like it has to be for the better, right? Like
Right,
it has
right,
to be they have to grow and develop as a person, as a family person, as someone who's not so selfish anymore. It's just it's a Christmas Carol, right? Like Ebenezer Scrooge, by the end, he's a giving, loving person. Um, and I think that's what obviously has to happen to be a Christmas movie. But then you run into issues like something like Krampus, right? So Krampus isn't necessarily a movie about that, right? Krampus, I guess it is the little boy. He's misbehaving. He doesn't believe in Krampus, and by the end of the movie, he believes in Krampus, right? So he becomes a better person. So I guess okay, I guess that one, it doesn't make it the main part of the plot, but it
Mhm.
is part of the plot. So I guess that one counts. But I also think like, you know, something like Die Hard has that though, right? Like to me, Die Hard has that element of, at the beginning he's kind of selfish.
Right.
He can care less about, he's just a drunk. He lets his marriage fall apart. He has no kind of, he has emotion and he's a little bummed about it, but otherwise he's a very selfish person. He let this happen to himself. By the end, he's still not 100% fixed, but he realizes how much he misses his wife. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the family dynamic is becomes more apparent to him at the end of the movie. Um, and there's a lot of cool, it's Hans Gruber. I mean, come on, Alan Rickman. Like, it's just got so many cool elements in
Yeah.
it that you can't not just love the movie. It is a perfect action movie. But I think honestly, I think people sometimes take the debate on whether or not it's a Christmas movie a little bit too far. Like, I think personally that if you want it to be a Christmas movie, it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
If you don't think it's a Christmas movie, like, it's not a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm neither here nor there about it, to be honest, anymore. Like, at first I do the thing where it's like, it's absolutely a Christmas movie. But now it's just like, whatever. So, but let us know what you guys think. What makes a Christmas movie for you guys? What really when you watch it, what really elements are you looking for in a Christmas movie? Hold up one second here.
I saw a commercial really quickly. It was on YouTube, so it was one of like those ads, skippable ads, and it was Jim Caviezel, and he was like, "Hi, folks, I'm Jim Caviezel. You might know me as the guy who played Jesus."
Yeah.
It was the funniest thing. I don't think that was meant to be funny, but
Dude,
I just thought that was so funny.
Jim Caviezel, man, he was everywhere for a while. He did
Count of Monte Cristo, man.
Count of Monte Cristo. Actually, Frequency. Did you ever see Frequency?
Never saw Frequency.
You have to see Frequency. Frequency was my favorite movie for a long time after it came out. It's got Jim Caviezel and Dennis Quaid. It's this time travel, this weird.
Yes, I have seen it. I loved it.
Frequencies mixed up. I love that movie. Anthony is here. Anthony, it's good to see you, man. We're so happy you're here. So excited to have you here. Thank you for joining us. What are some of your favorite Christmas movies, Anthony? We'd love to hear from you. Everybody, just let us know, man, what you guys love watching, what you guys love. Even, if you guys have a favorite like TV show or favorite album you guys like listening, like, do you guys have a favorite Christmas album you guys like? Drop it in the comments. Let us know. I'd love to talk about those as well. Christmas book, Christmas Vacation. Oh yeah. So we kind of talked about Christmas Vacation a little bit earlier, but that's another one of those classics that I love that movie so much. It's so funny. It's so perfectly executed. And there's a story about how Chris Columbus almost directed that instead of Home Alone. So we might not have gotten the version of Home Alone that we know of if it wasn't for this other director stepping in to direct Christmas Vacation. So let's see, Anthony Blanco, Christmas, NSYNC Christmas album. I'm not judging. You listen to what you want to listen to. That's awesome. One of my favorite Christmas movies is Harold and Kumar's Christmas. Yes, that movie is so. Neil Patrick Harris is perfect in those movies. Like, he is absolutely hilarious. Those movies are great. We love those. And an Apocalypse album. Cassie, we love that album around here. We love that movie around here. Christian, you need to check it out.
I do. I've got a list of tabs open now.
This is going to be one of your top ones. The bummer is it's super hard to find. Like, you can rent it. It was streaming for a while. You could rent it, but it's hard to find on Blu-ray because it's a British movie and they haven't released it physically in the States in most places. So I'm a little confused as far as the region stuff goes and whether or not it'll play with my Blu-ray player, because there's like 4 different regions. Anyways, that's the whole thing. But anyways, we're checking out. You could probably rent it though for fairly.
Yeah, that's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, fairly thing. I barely watched It's a Wonderful Life for the first time this year. Anthony, I mean,
9 out of 10.
Yeah. Hey, it's never too late. It's never too late. I'm playing video games that came out 20 years ago for the first time, finally. So, hey, better late than never. A Wonderful Life is an interesting one to me because I realized like how little, like it's only the very end that really takes place in Christmas, right? That where it becomes a Christmas movie. But again, it's that story of, like you said, it doesn't have to be based around Christmas. It just has that arc of him learning, you know, about life and becoming a better person. At the end, it ends in Christmas. And so yeah, that's another one that kind of surprised me a little bit. But it's a wonderful Christmas movie. So I know a lot of people too. Someone had mentioned this. Harry Potter movies are a big staple in this household, pretty much all year around because of my wife, but also around Christmas time because of my wife. And but it's one of those very comforting watches. It's a very fun movie to, those are really those are comfort watches. They have become comfort watches in this household, and we really enjoy them. So Harry Potter is always a fantastic choice. What about you, Christian? Are you a Harry Potter fan around this time of year?
I am not the biggest. So Dana is a huge her and her whole family. They're big Harry Potter family. I am not. I think I told the story before. I got into trouble wearing. Dana bought me like a Hogwarts shirt, and we walked into a comic book store, and the girl behind the counter, she's like, "Ooh, Hogwarts shirt." She's like, "What house are you?" And I was like, and I looked at Dana, and she like, "Ooh," like looked away. And it was during the time that Game of Thrones was really popular, and I stupidly made a joke, and I said House Stark, and she was like, "You're not a Harry Potter fan." And I was like, "I'm just kidding," and she was like, almost like she was going to kick me out of the store.
I only know what house I am again because of my wife. I'm a Hufflepuff, which makes a lot of sense. People say Harry Potter 1 to 3 are holiday films. Yes,
yes, they are actually.
Says yes, Harry Potter, the first movie, is the best for Christmas. I agree. Anthony Blanco, Anthony,
Jingle all the way,
Jingle All the Way. It's so good. Like I remember watching that in theaters. Like I was so excited. Me and my sister both went to go see it in theaters. I think it came out in 96, 97.
Mm-hmm.
Watched it in theaters. Had a blast. Like I'm not gonna lie, like it's one of those fun but dumb movies, you know.
Arnold, Sinbad, Anakin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's dumb fun, and I think I really enjoy that one. A Christmas Story. A Christmas Story. A Christmas Story. A Christmas Story. I love A Christmas Story. I do. But there's I don't want to say a limit to that I can watch it, but I've found that limit, but it somehow continues on, which is completely fine. I do
every time we get a package, like an Amazon package, every time without fail, Dana's like fragile. Like
it's such a funny movie. It is very quotable too. It has a lot of great stuff in it, and that's actually where our tradition. We actually eat. So on Christmas Day, we eat Chinese food. And that kind of grew out of that, that film. There is a sequel. I've not seen the sequel yet. We're waiting to a little bit closer towards Christmas, so we can watch the first one, and then we can watch the sequel as well. Yeah, Anthony, I swear I watched it in theaters. I watched it with my sister. Like, I don't know if she was super thrilled to go watch it with me, but I think she was really excited to go watch it too. So we went to go watch it. Regal Cinemas in Everett, Washington. I have proof. I don't have my ticket stubs anymore, but that's exactly where it was.
I saw the Santa Claus in theaters when I was
yes,
that I remember. What's the one with Vince Vaughn? He was like his brother or something.
Oh yes, that's another one. My wife's got to know the name of that one. If she's watching, she'll bring it up. I forgot the name of it though. Oh, isn't that like Fred Claus?
Fred Claus, yeah. I saw that in theaters at City Walk.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
That was just because there was nothing else to watch.
Fred Claus.
There we go. Thank you, Cassie.
There's also the Aardman one. The Arthur Christmas. Arthur Christmas is a really, really well done. So it's from the same studio that did like Wallace and Gromit and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
cool.
Shaun the Sheep, but it's a CG. It's their first CG animated movie. So it kind of has the same vibe as those, of like Wallace and Gromit and stuff. But it's CG and it looks beautiful. It looks great. Another one that I've actually recently that we've recently discovered and that's we really like to watch is Klaus. It's on Netflix. Yes, it's kind of like I don't want to say it's a Santa origin story, but it kind of is. The animation is just beautiful. Like it looks amazing. The voice acting is incredible. It's got Norm Macdonald. It was one of his very last voice roles. And it's a fantastic movie. Great movie. Always love Jingle All the Way. Johnny says, yeah, it's so good. It's so good. We didn't really talk. We've kind of brought it up, but we didn't really talk about Elf. And so, yeah, Elf is Deck the Halls. Deck the Halls is a good one too. But Elf, like, it's Jon Favreau, man. Like, it's Jon Favreau. Like, he creates a Christmas classic. He creates a comic book. He creates a movie that
universe starts off the universe,
whole cinematic universe. He freaking creates this movie, this Christmas movie that has become an all-timer. Like I was watching this ranking list on YouTube and it came out to be the number one Christmas movie of all time, according to the people they polled. I think that's one of those movies that has layers for everybody. Like it has something in it for everyone. Will Ferrell is fantastic. Zooey Deschanel is incredible. James Caan is just being James Caan.
It's so perfect.
It's so perfect. Like and Peter Dinklage, like his small cameo in it is great.
Call me Elf one more time.
So good. Like everything about that movie is absolute perfection. It's funny. It's sweet. It's just the perfect. I would call it a perfect Christmas movie. Like it's got all the elements, and it's just fantastic.
Couples Retreat. I have not seen that.
I'm a cotton-headed nanny.
Ninny Muggin. I'm a cotton-headed Ninny Muggin.
So good. Did he do Couples Retreat? Oh, Jon Favreau? I don't believe he did. I don't remember who did that, but I know which one you're talking about. That was a pretty funny movie. That was with Vince Vaughn and Kristen Bell, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and a whole bunch of other people. But yeah, that was a pretty good one. So Elf is fantastic. Gosh, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that like we're missing that's
I'm sure there are. There's so many good ones out there.
There's an amazing amount of great Christmas movies, I was actually scrolling through one of the streaming services and they had Prancer on there. I don't know if you ever saw Prancer. Prancer's from like 1980. God, I want to say 84, 85. I don't think it was I want to say it was Richard Donner, but I'm not sure. I could be completely mistaken and I could be completely wrong, which I probably am. I remember liking that as a kid for some reason. I'm trying to think of any other Christmas movies that
Dana loves the Rankin and Bass, like the stop motion ones, Rudolph and like all of those Jack Frost. We sat down and watched them a couple years ago. I'm like, man, they're mean. They're like so mean to Rudolph, and there were like some other things that are like, wow, Snowman's an asshole, kind of.
Yeah, he is an a-hole. 100%. No, Prancer was directed by John Hancock, which I don't know who that is. But anyways, again, keep them coming. Let us know some of your favorite Christmas movies coming up. So Christian, do you have any plans to watch any movies over the holiday weekend? I know, sometimes.
Yeah, I think what's going to end up happening, we're going to Cheryl's, to Dana's sister's place, and their whole family thing is to watch Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. I'm not quite sure which is going to end up on the TV. I think now, though, our new thing, it doesn't matter what holiday, every time we get together, we do one of those to catch a hunter.
The Hunter Killer.
Hunter Killer. Yeah. We're doing that thing again. So, which is a lot of fun, man. I highly recommend it. It's fun. It really is actually fun for the whole family. I know it deals with murder, but it's still. Everybody gets to be a detective together, so it's really cool.
Everyone loves murder in my house. It's okay.
We're all good. What I recommend is have like a board with all of the facts, so everybody has the same facts. It if everybody like if you hand stuff to everybody, then everybody has different clues, and it gets really really confusing. So, um,
Nice.
but make sure everybody's sharing information, and then it's a lot of fun. So,
Very cool.
uh,
A Year Without a Santa Claus. Yes, that's also a really, really good one. One of Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. What is that one called? I remember where they have to go to his family's house, and then
Family
what
Matters.
was that? Was that?
Anthony, we're huge in the 90s sitcoms holiday episodes of my house. Family Matters, Home Improvement. Yes, agreed. Those all hit home for me.
Yeah, my Four Christmases. Yes, my wife knew what it was. I heard her yell it from the other room.
There we go.
Four Christmases. I remember. It's funny because John Favreau's in that one too.
Mhm,
He's
mhm.
he's Vince Vaughn's brother in that, which is great. Yeah, the 90s sitcom holiday episodes are fantastic. Like they're so cheesy, so corny, but we love them all, especially the Full House ones, but they're
Yeah.
amazing. They're fantastic. So yeah, I think this weekend we're just gonna go watch. We're gonna go check out Avatar finally. It's if it's supposed to snow,
Same.
but we'll see. If it doesn't snow, we'll go. If it does snow, we're not going.
Right.
Otherwise,
Man,
we'll
so
just hang out.
you guys didn't feel the earthquake at all today?
No, we didn't. No, I didn't. When you messaged me, I was like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" And then I
Yeah.
looked it up. Yeah, no earthquake. For those of you guys listening and watching, we live up in Portland, Oregon. There was an earthquake in Northern California. I
On
think
the
it was like at
border,
the border
apparently.
of. Yeah, we're up pretty. We're up past Portland. We're almost at the Washington border.
Right.
So
Okay. So you
we're
guys
like
are far enough.
yeah, we're like half an hour away from the Washington border. So not even that, actually, like 20 minutes or so.
Nice. Yeah. I
Um,
saw that earthquake and I immediately texted just to make sure you guys were
yeah,
okay.
no, thank you. I appreciate that, man. No,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, so no, we're good. But thoughts and good vibes to everyone affected by it. I hope everyone's okay. I haven't read a whole lot of like there hasn't been a whole lot of incoming earthquake jokes.
I mean, most of us grew
Go
up
for
here
it,
in
Anthony.
Southern California, right? So I don't know what your guys' temperament is with, or I've never, I only care now because of this. This is the
Yeah,
only
dude.
reason. Yeah.
Same. I can't. That's gonna be. Got the kids and the dogs too. Actually, the dogs they're a little crazy.
One of my
Um,
first memories of an earthquake, I was in kindergarten. I think it was like 1986 or something. And it was morning before school, and I was watching Gem and the Holograms.
oh,
And then I
no shame
just,
in that.
I remember it started shaking, and I was just like, just watching. And my mom was like, Chris, because my mom's an immigrant from the Philippines. She's like,
Yeah, yeah.
Christian, we have to get under a table. Oh my God. And then I'm just like, and my mom grabbed me, and I was so mad because I couldn't see the TV from under the table.
Oh my gosh, dude! I think I remember there was a big one. I think it was around '86 when I was living in LA too.
Yeah,
Like when I
yeah,
was a
yeah,
little kid,
yeah.
and my dad used to do saltwater fish tanks. So he had this really nice aquarium.
Oh wow.
I just remember it just like just
Oh
shattered.
no,
He never went back to it. He was like, no, like he had
that's
spent so much money.
heartbreaking.
Like we had
Yeah.
like all kinds of like seahorses. It was insane. Anyways, it's enough earthquake talk. We're gonna be what do they call them? Geologists who study or what do they study earthquakes?
I that's yeah.
I don't know. I
I
don't know,
you know,
man. I don't know. Anyway,
seismologist, right? Seismologist.
seismologists, yes,
Yeah.
yes. If any of you guys are seismologists, let us know if we said that
Yeah.
right. Um, but yeah, so that's our Christmas episode. Jason unfortunately doesn't look like he's able to make it today. He was running a little bit late. We're not sure. There goes my dogs. They're crazy. They're barking about something. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it today. But before we end, we do have a couple winners to announce from a contest from the Christmas giveaway that was going on. So I will go ahead and share that with you all. And I will announce the winners in 1 second here. Okay. And here we go. So without further ado, Christian, do you want to do a drum roll, or are we good with drum rolls? Do we need to do a drum roll?
I can't even roll my. I can't.
Okay, good. That's what I can't either. That's why I'm asking. So we'll just go ahead and share it right now. So our winners for the contest are PokeFam360. You are the winner of the Letterman jacket, Raphael, and Luna Valor, blue jacket, Leonardo. Congratulations, guys. Please message DM Pastrami Nation with your information, and we will get that sent out to you as soon as possible. We'll also post this on the Facebook, on the feeds and everything, so you'll be able to see a little bit better. And if you're not able to watch the podcast today, hopefully this gets to you and you're able to claim your prizes. That's awesome. Congratulations, guys. We're really, really happy to be doing this, and you guys get some cool stuff. So that's awesome. So congrats. So let's go ahead and stop sharing that. Cool. Well, Christian, I think that's about it for us today. Merry Christmas, Anthony. Stay blessed. You too.
Yeah,
And,
Merry Christmas, everybody, all you guys. Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Thank you guys for joining us. Be safe out there. Whatever you celebrate, whatever holiday you celebrate, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and stay safe out there. Go hang out with your friends. Hang out with your family. Have fun. Be careful out there, and be safe. Make sure to join us here at Pastrami Nation every Tuesday. Unfortunately, we had to cancel last week's Brick Therapy, but next week we'll be back with an all-new Brick Therapy. Also, check out My Public Life as an American Nerd, which is a audio-only podcast. You can find it anywhere you find your favorite podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever these things go. Those come out every Wednesday. We have a new episode coming out tomorrow. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that fun stuff, TikTok, Kevin_Hoskinson. You can also follow Pastrami Nation on all those as well. Pastrami Nation is also on Pinterest, so check us out there. And Christian, they could find you everywhere else as well.
All the places.
So I think that's it for today. Join us next week for a new Brick Therapy. Next time we see you guys on Pastrami Nation podcast, hopefully there won't be too much DC news to report, but we'll see. Seems to be like there's going to be enough for at least a couple years. So we'll see what happens there. Anyways, guys, thank you guys. Be safe. Stay warm too. Stay warm wherever you're at. Take it easy, guys. Have a good night.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.